Hi, ladies and gentlemen. This time we use a topic called to cheat, to cheat the God and to irritate the ghost. Of course, we don't make the interpretation on its own right. We don't mean that people have intentionally cheat the God and also the irritate the ghost, whatever. We only use it to it's a kind of analogy, and telling people, warning people that in usual time, if you come across some fortune teller, if you come across some people called faith counselor, you prepare something to challenge them. Challenge them by what? By asking questions. Asking question why? Asking question why, right? Because in our time, as mentioned in last movie in chapter 9, we found that the information technology is so advanced so much so that statistic is not a dream for faith counseling and fortune telling. So without all this data analysis, without general interpretation of this data, without judgment based on this data, then your forecasting and judgment will be very volatile, very fragile. The reason why? Because you only rely on your own experience, by placing some intrinsic knowledge in your potentiality, in your potential sense. So when you come across some future cases, you simply make use of your potential experience, your intrinsic knowledge, and then you make an application without very valid process control, which is the point. So it is a reminder, not only will be a warning, the reminder to our friends and also all the audience, when you come across some fortune teller, then make sure that you understand what they say, and make sure that you ask them what's the basis of their judgment. What's the basis of the judgment? If they can base a judgment on some issues, on some reading, on some research, then it will be better. Even if they can't refer to them, at least they have to tell clearly how they come up to that conclusion, right? As always, introduced to you, this is a book called 新命理探原. This book written in Qing Dynasty by Mr. Yuan Xu-san, and he has, at that time, even 100 years ago, these famous people, they always emphasize on the importance of what? They always emphasize on the importance of knowledge. They approach 10 characters. The 10 characters of faith counselor and fortune teller. The most important characters is the first character. It's called knowledge. Knowledge. 学问. Knowledge. So even 100 years ago, Chinese people, when they're the practitioner of fortune telling, they emphasize on the importance of knowledge. So we are now on the 21st century. We spent 20 years again from the beginning of the century, and the information technology has exposed and expanded so much so that we can't afford knowing nothing about the impact of information technology on our everyday life, including but not including faith counseling and fortune telling. Right. So another book which I want to introduce to you is the Artificial Intelligence. 人工智慧来了. Written by Professor Dr. Li Kai-Fu. He is a professional in artificial intelligence, and in this book he will introduce you what artificial intelligence is, how to make use of big data and crowd computation to come up to artificial intelligence, what is the usage, what's the coverage of this artificial intelligence in all our daily activities. So there's no exception for faith counseling and fortune telling. So without keeping an eye on the development of information technology, it means that you turn blind eyes to this area, and you level sophisticate and make an enhancement in faith counseling technology. No matter you're the practitioner or you're the receiver. So it's the final words of friendly remind to you, and it's a kind of a conclusive comment on the Chinese 5 classics. It does not use the means to attack and to tell you that the Chinese cultural 5 classics are totally outdated and useless. It's only emphasized to you that we've got to supplement them by using some advanced technology so that these 5 Chinese cultural techniques can be enhanced and add value for the well-being of people. So that's the purpose of these chapters. Alright, thank you very much for your watching, and we have finished the this section, Chinese Cultural 5 Classics, and we'll turn to another direction and give you another 10 chapters on other issues. So we take a rest first, and I'll see you next time later. Thank you very much.